India has just drawn a firm new red line, a line that delivers a message not only to Pakistan but to the entire world. In his most unequivocal statement yet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has left no room for doubt. India will no longer put up with terrorism, not on its soil, not across the border, and most certainly not in silence. After the appalling terror assault on the 22nd of April in Pahalgam, where 26 Hindu pilgrims were brutally slain, India hasn't merely grieved, it has taken action. With resolve, with planning, and with a clear signal, terrorism will now be met with force. During a nationwide broadcast viewed by millions, Prime Minister Narendra Modi commended the bravery of India's armed forces. He said their courage wasn't only a matter of military prowess, it was a salute to every Indian who demands safety and justice. He declared the launch of Operation Sindoor, a calculated cross-border offensive that neutralized over 100 terrorists in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and, for the first time since 1970, in the Punjab in Pakistan. It wasn't arbitrary, it wasn't impulsive, it was calculated, it was devastating, and above all, it was a declaration. This, the Prime Minister affirmed, is India's new normal. A shift in doctrine built upon three unshakable principles: swift and decisive retaliation, absolute rejection of nuclear threats, and no separation between those who carry out terror and those who enable it, in this case, the Pakistani state. India is no longer merely guarding its territory, it is redefining the terms of engagement. And now, the diplomatic mic drop moment. India will only engage Pakistan on two fronts: terrorism and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Because, and mark these words, talks and terrorism cannot coexist. Talks and trade cannot function together, and water and blood cannot flow together. India wants peace, but no peace held hostage. Not peace wrapped in suffering, peace as defined by India. Yet just as India was making hard choices, one man decided to grab the spotlight: US President Donald Trump. Trump claimed to have brokered an India-Pakistan ceasefire. Then, almost immediately, made a tone-deaf pronouncement: stop the fighting or lose access to trade. These were his exact words. Hear it for yourself.
On Saturday, my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict of two nations with lots of nuclear weapons. And they were going at it hot and heavy, and it was seemingly not going to stop. And I'm very proud to let you know that the leadership of India and Pakistan was unwavering, powerful, but unwavering in both cases, and having these, they really were, from the standpoint of having the strength and the wisdom and fortitude to fully know and to understand the gravity of the situation. And we helped a lot. And we helped also with trade. I said, come on, we're going to do a lot of trade with you guys. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. If you stop it, we're doing trade. If you don't stop it, we're not going to do any trade. People have never really used trade the way I used it, that I can tell you. And all of a sudden they said, I think we're going to stop.
Seriously, Mr. Trump? You believe India, the fifth largest economy on earth, a nation that's just decimated 100 terrorists, will cave in over a trade threat? And yet, it didn't even end there. Trump once again offered to solve the Kashmir situation, calling it a problem that's been going on for 1,000 years. Let's pause there. That's not just incorrect, it's frankly laughable. It's disheartening that the head of the world's oldest democratic nation is so misinformed. Here's the historical reality. Pakistan didn't even exist a century ago. It came into being in 1947, carved out of British India. Jammu and Kashmir lawfully acceded to India in the same year. it was Pakistan that launched an invasion using tribal militias, Pakistani arms, and Pakistani officers. India responded with measured restraint and, yes, approached the United Nations, not to debate an ancient dispute, but to demand stop Pakistan from using terror to seize land. That's factual record. No folklore, no thousand-year feud. Now fast forward to 2025. 26 innocent tourists are slaughtered by terrorists sponsored by Pakistan. India retaliates forcefully, and Trump reduces it to a Kashmir problem. No, Mr. Trump, it's a terrorism issue.
Well, I think, first of all, we saw that Donald Trump needs a lesson in South Asia when he said that this conflict had been going on for more than 1,000 years across the border. The fact of the matter is Donald Trump doesn't know the details. He's often speaking from the cuff. The good news is, however, he has a strong relation with Prime Minister Modi, and he also has a team which understands the reality of South Asia much more than the president does. And so then the question is, how do you allow the president of the United States to save face while getting spun up to speed on the situation? We have seen, for example, in American reporting, that in the more than 100 days which Donald Trump has been in office, he has skipped all but 12 of his presidential daily briefs, the daily CIA briefings about world affairs. Perhaps he really does need an education right now.
And to be fair, this isn't just about Trump. It's emblematic of a troubling mindset often seen in the West. The assumption that India's fight against terror is somehow only about Kashmir, that when India is attacked, it should de-escalate, that terrorism is simply part of a local quarrel. But here's the danger in that line of thinking. The moment you frame Kashmir as the problem, you provide cover for every act of terror committed in its name. You hand the killers a justification. You give them legitimacy. And let's be absolutely clear, India owes no one an explanation. We didn't simply retaliate. We struck known terror bases, camps connected to global extremist networks. The same type of terrorists who were involved in the London tube bombing of 7/7, who masterminded 9/11 in the United States of America. Not to forget where Osama bin Laden was found.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
So if anything, the West ought to thank India, not lecture it or preach, because when India strikes back, she's not only protecting her citizens, she's also reinforcing international security. And bluntly put, Mr. Trump might be better off addressing school shootings and border crises at home before dispensing advice to India. Or here's another idea. During his campaign, he claimed he'd end the Russia-Ukraine conflict in 24 hours. Still waiting on that one. So no, Mr. Trump, Kashmir is not a relic of history. It is not a matter for negotiation. What is in question and what must be extinguished is terrorism. India will respond to aggression. India will speak up for its people. India will protect its sovereignty, whether or not it meets with Western approval. Because for India, this isn't strategy or geopolitics. It is survival. Thank you for watching India Today Global.